Most hated NBA players of all time. First, LeBron James. Being hated is part of the GOAT conversation. LeBron enters his 22nd career season and continues to be among the best and, at the same time, most hated players in the NBA. Some of the older generation fans still see Michael Jordan as the best player of all time, sparking debate and trying to downplay James' achievements and legacy. Even though LeBron was never involved in any scandal off the court, some events involving James were heavily criticized. Probably the best known is the infamous decision in 2010. James went live on ESPN to announce that he'd choose to sign with the Miami Heat in free agency. James was also heavily criticized for not showing support for general manager Daryl Morey after he publicly expressed his support for Hong Kong supporters against China. I don't want to get into a verbal feud with Daryl Morey, but I believe he wasn't educated on the situation at hand, and he spoke, James said at that time. The others simply hate LeBron for his social media persona, which is usually labeled as corny and cheesy, or that he has a bold NBA nickname, the King. Second, Zaza Pachulia. It's been over 7 years, but Zaza Pachulia is still remembered for one action in the 2017 playoffs. Pachulia's Golden State Warriors were playing against the San Antonio Spurs, and the Georgian forward stepped under Kawhi Leonard, causing him a sprained ankle injury. Leonard suffered the injury in Game 1 and remained out for the entire series as the Warriors swept the Spurs 4-0. Kawhi returned to the court only in December 2017, as he was also nagging other injuries. That play by Pachulia was considered dirty and unsafe. Many fans condemned Pachulia's action, putting him under the microscope. As a result, more and more dirty plays from Pachulia started to float around, labeling him the dirty player. Third, Ben Simmons. Simmons is probably the most hated NBA player among the 76ers fanbase. After playing poorly in the 2021 playoffs, the Australian point guard was thrown under the bus by head coach Doc Rivers and the team star, Joel Embiid. I don't know the answer to that, Rivers told reporters when asked if Simmons could be the point guard of a championship team. Obviously, he struggled from the free throw line, and that became a factor in this series, Rivers continued. There's no doubt about that. The situation escalated during the offseason. While the 76ers couldn't find trade suitors, Simmons missed training camp and preseason games. Eventually, he made a short return to the team and was thrown out of practice by Rivers. Simmons never made an appearance for the 76ers again, as he cited mental health issues for his absence. Despite being traded to the Brooklyn Nets, Simmons hasn't managed to change people's perceptions of him yet. This is mainly due to his poor injury record, as he has played only 57 games throughout 2.5 seasons so far. Finally, fans mock Simmons for his preseason videos, in which he effortlessly sinks three-pointers only to avoid attempting them once the regular season starts. For RTH Joel Embiid. Even though he slowed down a bit in recent years, many remember the era of Joel Embiid. We still see flashes of it from time to time, as his trash-talking and trolling can rub some the wrong way. However, the recent hate and criticism toward Embiid are focused on his lack of results on the court. Despite entering his 9th season in the NBA, Embiid hasn't managed to carry the 76ers to the Eastern Conference Final, let alone the NBA Finals. The same thing happened in the last playoffs when Philly was eliminated by the New York Knicks. Many fans criticized Embiid for talking his way into winning the 2024 NBA MVP, claiming he took it from Nikola Jokic, which eventually ended up with the 76ers star being one of the most hated NBA players in 2024 for failing to deliver in the playoffs.